Okay, so now that we're able to add tasks, task 4, and remove tasks, the only other main functionality that we're lacking is toggling the completion of this task. So what we want to happen is when we click this, the is done variable will be changed to true because this task is done, and we will mark it as completed with a strike true on here, and the check icon will turn into a redo icon, and when we click it, it will toggle the is done variable again, uncheck here, and change this to a check. So again, whenever we work with a click action, the first thing that we want to do is to bind a v on click on the icon to the view method. So let's do that. Let's go into our code, look for the icon, the check icon, which is this, and the first thing is always to make sure that the method binding is working. Toggle done. Again, we need to add the index here so that we know which to-do item we are dealing with. So add to-do, delete to-do, and we want to have a function that it is toggle done. Function index as the parameter because this will be the array item identifier. Do this dot to-do dot to-dos, which is this array with the identifier. Instead of accessing the name, now we want to access the is done property or key, and we want it to equals this exclamation mark and exactly this. I'll try to explain this, but if you don't get it, don't worry, just clarify with your mentor. So basically what it's doing is it's assigning the current to-do item identified by the index and accessing the is done property of that object and assigning it to the exact same thing but with an exclamation mark before it. What this does is basically saying that if this is currently true, exclamation mark means the opposite of that. So it becomes false. So if the is done property is actually currently false, this statement will be true. Again, if it's confusing, it's okay. For now, just follow along. So save it and let's look at what it does to our site. Task 1, task 2, task 3. So by default, these are the task name or to-do name, and this is the is done property, all of which defaulted to false, and when we click this button, it should change into true. Means it's done, means the thing is actually done. So since it's actually now true, if we click the button, the icon, it will call this toggle done, which is this function, and it will say that change the current is done property to not it, to the opposite of it. So if it's currently true, change it to false. So that's how it works. So it will keep toggling, and that's why our function name is toggle done. So that's about it. That is how you toggle the is done property of the to-do object. But now, if we look at the actual app, what we want to do is when we click this, rather than just putting :true, we want to actually have a style of striking through the particular to-do item. To do this, we actually would need CSS on this name. So we don't need this. We just want the name. So we need a span. We need to wrap this to-do name around a span element and give it a class done task. So if a particular to-do is done, then we'll strike true. How do we do at that strike true? Take this class, start as styles.css, dot done task, and let's search how to do a strike through. How to CSS strike through. I believe it's this one. So we just need to put text decoration line through. Since we're just doing a normal class done task to do name, no matter what, the task will be strike through. Oh yeah, we need to link our own custom styles that we just created. So we can copy this, write custom CSS, command slash or control slash, paste the linking here that we just copied, but instead of linking it to Font Awesome, we want to link it to styles.css. So we do this by just doing this. So what we're expecting to see is all the tasks will now have a class of done tasks, which will have a line through as a text decoration. Let's see how that looks like. Oh, need to refresh. Task 1, task 2, task 3. Okay, at least the style is correct, but now we only want tasks that are done to have this strike through. So in order for us to do that, Vue has this way of ensuring only certain things will have the class implemented on them. Instead of having it as class done task, what I'll do is have a v bind class, and then open a curly brace here, and we're saying v bind class. The class done task will only be applied on this element if it to do dot is done is true. So if it's not done, this done task class won't be applied on this span. So let's save and try it out. Refresh task 1. So now it's done. It will strike through, and I keep clicking on it. As you know here, it will keep toggling. So as I click it, it will toggle between done, not done, done, not done. So that works. So the next thing we want is to change this icon so that it's more clear on whether or not we can redo the item. Otherwise, seeing this check icon even when the item is done doesn't really make sense. So at least our strike through work, and now to ensure that the icon will show correctly. As mentioned, we have the ability to change a class according to our Vue properties. So let's do that here also. vbind class is equals to double quotation curly braces. So fast is a normal font icon class, but far check is the one that make it into a check icon. So what we want to do is to say apply fast to all. Okay, what we want to do is to have this inside the vbind class instead of a normal class, and say that only apply the far check class on this icon if to do dot is done is not true. So exclamation mark is not if true. And have a far redo class if it's actually done. So what this does is it will apply this fast class on this icon no matter what, but it will only apply this far check class if it's not done. Due to the exclamation mark, this means that it's not done. And will only apply the far redo if the task is actually done. If you are confused here, it's totally understandable. This takes a while to truly sink in. So again, just clarify to your mentor if you are not sure what's going on. Oh, for vbind classes, whenever you have a dash, you'll have to wrap it around a single quotation mark like this. Now save it and look at our app. Refresh. Task 1. Add task. And now when you click, it will dash and it will change the icon into a redo icon. Click again, it will turn into a check icon. And so on and so forth. So basically, you've managed to do all the main features of this app. Congratulations. This is quite a cool app that you can use on your own. On the upcoming video, I'm going to share with you how you can improve this app even further, more so than this basic functionality. In the next 2 videos, I'm going to show you how you can improve this app